Hey, I'm Vagabon, and I'm doing my high fives with VMP.
Can I talk my shit? I got way too high for this. I'm riding on a wave.
This album by Sigur Rós is my favorite to unplug to because I love ambient music. Usually when I'm winding down after the night or after a show, I'm listening to music with no vocals, but Sigur Rós is the exception. It kind of makes these beautiful soundscapes, dreamy, but there's some experimental, like rock in there. It's just all up my alley, beautiful sound design, and that's what I like to listen to when I'm winding down. Aaliyah by Aaliyah, what can I say? I mean, if anyone's ever listened to my music, I only hope that they make some comparison to Aaliyah. When I first moved to the States and I was living in the Bronx, I would play this record, I would listen to it all of the time, and it made me really excited about music. And before I had the language to understand what I wanted to do in music or that I wanted to become a producer, I knew that I loved the drums on this. More Than a Woman is in my canon, produced by Timbaland. That is, you know, one of the formative listening experiences I had as a preteen in the States, living in New York, and getting really excited about drums and melodies and music, and not knowing how I will do it, but knowing that there was something really special in this album that I wanted to embody. When I'm looking for inspiration, I go to Jorge Ben. I love Afro-Brazilian music. As an African woman myself, I grew up around these rhythms, these polyrhythms, this guitar playing style, and I've only heard it in the context of like West and East African music, but when I discovered African music from Brazil, a whole different part of my brain opened up. And Jorge Ben does that so well on this record, Africa, Brazil. And I think it's also really amazing for me to see like all of the African people who've migrated to Brazil and how it's affected the music. And then you mix that with the Portuguese language, which is so beautiful. And that's where I really go to for a lot of my like drum and guitar inspirations. Donuts, favorite album that I would recommend. I really love to recommend this in sessions that I have. As a producer, this album is canon. Every time I speak to other music producers, people who make their own beats, people who write their own instrumentals, this album comes up a lot. It really changed the game. I found it late in life. One of my producer friends put me onto it. And so the reason I actually recommend it so much is I feel that it's my duty to to spread the word of J Dilla and of Donuts to other producers, especially female producers out there. Toxicity, System of a Down. This is the album I would bring on a desert island because I can listen to this album over and over and over again. When I discovered this record, it's the reason that I love rock music. It's the reason that I wanted to play guitar and play loud and hard. When I think of Prison Song, that song is still relevant to what's happening in the world right now, and it hasn't stopped, and I really admire and respect that longevity with words. And I just saw System of a Down for the first time live because I missed the first wave, so I saw it and I lost my voice. So I think this is a record that I would never get sick of if I had to listen to it for the rest of my life.
Wake up.
So my new album, Sorry I Haven't Called, is recently out, just a month ago, and we have a Vinyl Me Please exclusive in a red colorway. It's amazing. This album is really special because it's been 4 years since my last. It's coming after grieving the loss of my best friend. And he and I used to love listening to dance music together and house music, and he taught me how to produce music and bought me Logic for the first time. So this album really is a tribute to him and what we liked to do together. And so it has a lot of elements of dance, a lot of elements that make you want to move, and still has like the complexity and the depth and the emotions of what it means to grieve the loss of a loved one. Thank you for chatting with me about my favorite records. I am on the Sorry I Haven't Called tour right now in North America. We're going to Europe, and then next year, 2024, we have more dates in America and in Europe, maybe elsewhere. So we hope to see you at the shows. Bye.
You sing my praises, then you try to slide.